It's the Casey Arts Beat Report. I'm Patrick Neese. Thank you so much for joining me. And I want to ask you right up front to please like and subscribe. We're building an audience and we're bringing the arts to Kansas City, all kinds of arts information. Please follow us on Facebook too. We daily post interesting arts information. And we love talking to Kansas City's wonderful arts leaders. For example, today, my guest is Deborah Sandler, who is the General Director and CEO of the Lyric Opera of Kansas City. Hello, Deb.
Hello, Patrick. I'm excited about your new venture.
Well,
And
thank you.
both for my sake and the sake of everybody else, could you repeat the name of the site?
Sure, it's kcartsbeat.com. And also, that's our YouTube channel as well. KC
Okay.
Art Beat. We have lots of interviews already posted on our YouTube channel with all kinds of arts figures. And I had a chance to interview you a few months ago, but now you're back because you have a really fascinating opera. Now, during your tenure as CEO of the Lyric, you have really expanded our notions of what opera can cover. It's not just consumptive heroines and, Teutonic dwarves working in the mines. You've also presented operas about everything from Steve Jobs to mountain climbing expeditions. And now I think you have one of the most interesting and fascinating operas you've ever presented. Tell us the name and what it's about.
Okay, so the opera is called Cruzar la Cara de la Luna, and it means crossing the face of the moon in Spanish. And it is the first mariachi opera ever written. It was written in 2010. So, in terms of opera composition, it's not that long ago. Since then, there have been two others by the same team. The team, one of the people has now passed away. The composer is Jose Pepe Martinez, and the librettist and our director is Lenny Folia, who, by the way, also directed Everest.
Ah,
So,
yes.
we love to work with Lenny. He does many wonderful things. And it's a story that is a very heartwarming story. It's a story of a family broken apart and reunited across borders, but it's a story about family love. And it can infect anyone, anywhere. Um, it has particular meaning, I think, for Kansas City because of the trail that began in the earlier part of the 19th century, the Santa Fe Trail that connected us down to Texas to Mexico. And then in 1942, the United States began the Braceros program. We had a lot of men at war and we needed workers. And so a lot of immigrants came in. And this is the story of one of those families. And it's a sad story, but it ends with a note of reconciliation and hope.
And it was written in 2010. When is this set? In the 40s?
No, it's actually no, it's contemporary.
Okay.
It's set in 2010. Because the Braceros program went from 1942 to 1967, if I'm correct. If not, somebody will tell us, but I believe that's when it was. So the main character, Laurentino, could have come over at any point in that story during that period of time. And, it's about family and it's about place. And there is a metaphor of the butterfly, which people have to come and see. It's only 90 minutes long. It is both in Spanish and in English. And of course, we always have titles so people can follow what's going on. And we are bringing in, unlike everything else that we've done, we are bringing in a different instrumental ensemble, Mariachi Los Comperos. They are a Grammy award-winning mariachi band from California. And this is a show which has been done many times in this country and also in Paris. It was done, I think, at the Châtelet. And a lot of the people in it are returning to do these roles. It's sort of a real ensemble. We augment a couple of people who are unavailable, but it's a very tight-knit group. And we're really excited about it. It's going to be a very different experience, but everything we try to do, to your point, we believe has high artistic value and merit,
Wow.
and it affords our people to sample a larger menu of what opera can be.
Yeah, that's wonderful. By the way, will the mariachi group be joined by any Kansas City Symphony people, or is it just the mariachi group?
Just the mariachi group.
Well, I that'll really fill the Muriel Kaufman Theater with quite a sound, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, they're actually on stage. They appear on stage. So the audience has the extra advantage of getting to see the fantastic instruments, right?
Great.
They're not the instruments that we see every day.
Yes, that's
And
wonderful.
it's really going to be a lot of fun. And then people who come on Friday evening, they'll have to RSVP, but get an invitation to a party we're having back here at the Opera Center. And, the cast will be there and the mariachi. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Wonderful. I have a great appreciation for Kansas City's Hispanic history. I grew up in the Argentine neighborhood of Kansas City, Kansas, just down the street from Kansas City, Kansas's Latino neighborhood. And I went to St. John the Evangelist School, and probably 50% of it was Mexican American. Many of my friends were Mexican American, and they had their movie theater, the Park Theater, which presented movies in Spanish. So, I feel like I have really been exposed to that kind of culture my whole life, and I really appreciate it. And it seems like a very timely opera to be doing right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it- it's not a political statement that we're making. It's an opera, and it
Uh-huh.
was programmed a long time ago, and it's a great piece, and we wanted our audiences to share it. But yes, certainly immigration has been an ongoing topic. We have worked very closely with the Mexican consul and the Mexican consulate. Soleil Padilla is the Mexican consul. She will be introducing the work at each of the performances with me on stage.
Great.
So, and we're doing a number of other events around the show to engage people, to give them a little bit more context for what they will see. We don't expect everybody to come, but if you're interested, it's being served. And
Yeah.
so there are a whole variety of different activities beginning actually tomorrow night. I would suggest that anybody go to kcopera.org.
And we should say that's February 20th.
And it's February 20th. Sorry.
That's all right. No, just in case people see this after tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. And so that's going to be the Voice of Your Heart. That's going to be at the now named Museum of Kansas City. We're excited. And we're bringing in a few scholars and some musicians to really sort of contextualize everything. It will be an interactive evening with food and drink and live music. And we'll learn about the Bracero program and its significance. And then, of course, we have our usual series called Opera Dives Deep at the Kaufman Center. So again, I would urge anybody to go look at the website. They take place on February 24th. Get you all the information. February 24th, March 3rd, and March. And then we have, of course, our pre-opera talk. So if you come to the opera any night, any of the 3 nights, March 7, 8, and 9, before the opera, there's something that's called a pre-opera talk. And we do those, it will be from 6:40 to 7 on the 2 nights when we do the show at 7:30. And it will be at 1:10 on the day that we do the 2 o'clock matinee on Sunday, March 9th. So there are all sorts of ways to learn about the show and what you'll be hearing, and some great Kansas City history.
Yes. And ultimately, this is still an opera, and it sounds like it has all the elements of what we love about opera, heartbreak and tragedy and, love. Um, so if you love opera and you just want something a little different, this sounds like just the ticket. And also, I don't know what the weather will be like, but if it's anything like what we have been having, mariachi music will warm you up.
Absolutely, absolutely. No matter what the weather.
And it
Um,
sounds like a
it
heartwarming story too.
yeah, I mean, mariachi is it's it's a lot of fun.
It is. It is. The Harriman Jewel series last year presented a Pixar cartoon with live mariachi music, and it was just so spine-tingling. I mean, to hear those trumpets and the all of it, the guitars. I mean, it is really something very unique to
Yes,
hear.
it's not a sound that that a lot of our audience may be used to, but hopefully they will love it and appreciate it as we appreciate everything that the world has to offer.
Yes, no,
So it's another experience. And I think, we're really happy whenever we can do something to bring people into opera who may not have thought that there was a place for them. This is a place for everyone.
yeah, absolutely. Tell us the name of the opera again, Deb, when and where, and how people can get tickets.
Okay, so the opera is called Cruzar la Cara de la Luna, and it means crossing the face of the moon. Loses a little something in the translation. You'll hear about butterflies that make a migration like people from Mexico to the United States. These are the butterflies. And the opera will take place at the Kaufman Center on March 7th and 8th at 7:30 p.m. and March 9th at 2 o'clock. And for tickets, we ask people to call 816-471-7344 or go online to kcopera.org. And there's a whole bunch of information, and I really encourage people to immerse themselves in it. As I said, it's only a 90-minute work, and you'll leave feeling excited and happy and good.
And only
We,
three,
we all need that, right?
oh boy, do we ever. And only three performances, so people should really get on the ball and get those tickets soon. Because something tells
Absolutely.
me this is going to be a hot seller for you. Would you agree?
I hope so. Yeah, with tickets are selling now, so
All right.
the best seats go early. So we always encourage people not to wait till the last minute.
And by the way, I have to compliment you on the way you said the name of that opera. I mean, that was quite wonderful. Have you studied Spanish?
No, what Spanish is the one language that I have not studied. Fortunately, we have a lot of people on staff who have coached me. So I've had to go on stage and announce it. And so I learned how to say it. No, I know several other languages, but Spanish isn't one of them.
Well, I got goosebumps when you said the title, Deb. I wanted to let you know that.
Well, thank you. Thank
Sure.
you. So,
Deborah Sandler, General Director and CEO of the Lyric Opera of Kansas City. And how many more performances this season, Deb?
well, we close the mariachi opera, and then we go right into our third commission for young people and family audiences called Maya and the Magic Ring. And we will be doing also on the website, we will be doing those throughout the Kansas City area. So it's a new commission. It's written by the wonderful composer Lori Laitman and the poet laureate, former chair of the NEA, and author Dana Gioia. If anybody knows who he is, I mean, he was the one who actually invented the big read when he was the chair of the National Endowment for the Arts. So we will do Maya, and then we close the season with the big enchilada, so to speak, corn. So
Yes,
that's a biggie.
wow. Yes, it is.
That's a biggie. I hope we can talk about that.
Well, I'd love to.
That is actually, yeah, that's the production that we opened with at the Kaufman Center
I
in its
remember
inaugural
that.
season.
I remember that very well. It was stunning. and I'm glad it's coming back. Was that the last time the lyric did Turandot?
Mhm.
Okay, great. It's
This is
about
actually, yeah, this is actually V2 because we're doing a little more work on it.
uh
So,
wow.
yeah,
Well, I was
better
impressed
and
the
better.
last time. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, right.
that's your motto, isn't it?
Right. Well, yes, it is. Matter of fact.
Well, that's great. Well, Deb Sandler, I really appreciate your time telling us about this mariachi opera. People get tickets, kcopera.org. And I'm Patrick Neese, and look forward to talking to you, Deb, soon.
Well, thank you, Patrick. Thank you for having me, and best of luck with your new endeavor. We'll all sign on and follow you and like you.
Thank you so much.